the best and shortest route toward truth is nature. And I wanted to break this down and what that meant. And what it basically means is that every one of us are traveling astrologically, cosmically, through our astrological programming. That's why it's imperative that you get your natal chart done, because astrologically, we all are perceiving our reality to ourselves. What we did in our past life has created this universe that we're experiencing right now, and our purpose in the universe. The whole world revolves around you. And people don't understand that. I try to make that very clear to people, that there's nothing outside of you. The whole world is yours. This is your world. This is actually your mind that you're living in. Everything you see that is happening, good or bad, what you would consider is you. It is your mind. Like, you are only experiencing the universe that you created from your past life's actions. Okay? So it's imperative that we understand this. And I explain to people sometimes, look at your body, become self-aware, and realize that all information, anything that you've seen from anyone getting killed, anyone in your family experiencing whatever they experience, anyone dies, it's all happening from your mind. The key is to become self-aware that nothing can happen outside of your observation. That your being is collecting information in a holographic universe. None of this is actually real. You're only experiencing your perception of electrical signals that are being sent to you. That is your mind projecting itself to itself. You are God. You are the one on many different levels. Now, so now you are experiencing your own mind refracting light to itself, refracting itself to itself via the actions that you made in your past life. So right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of my mission here. I'm well aware of the fact that I'm in my own world, speaking to myself, serving myself. And the reason why I choose to be conscious in this life is to come and help others, other selves, get in tune with what's going on. The fact of the matter is, it's all pretty meaningless. It's all a game. I call it the God game. The God game is that it's all really truly meaningless. When you understand it all, you realize, and you ask yourself, well, why? Why does life exist? Why do we exist? Why? But then it gets scary, because it's like, what would be if this wasn't to be? What is this? And this gets very scary, because it's like, okay, well, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing what I was doing? Or how could I exist if I never exist? Then that gives you the reason why you're doing it. The reason why you're doing this, the reason why God is doing this, is because it's something to do. With that being said, it doesn't take away from the pain that you feel with your nervous system. It doesn't take away from the purpose and the game that we're playing, okay? We're playing the game of life. So as I take you outside of it and tell you the truth, and I say, none of this means anything. It's all a cycle of God's game that is playing. God is playing a game with itself. It all truly means nothing. And it doesn't take away from the fact that you feel pain. God, you, God, was smart enough to set it up that just in case you figured that out, that this is all a game and you don't want to play it no more, no. You made rules, you made laws so that no matter how it happened, you could not escape the game until you become self-conscious. And then when you do escape the game, you get to this void, this dark, empty space where nothing exists, where you are, where you sit, where you know everything and everything is known, and it's just blank. It's a void. A lot of people that do DMT, they experience this void. They call it the breakthrough, and it's this. Sometimes they see this void space, this darkness where you just sit. There's nothing. It's no sound. There's nothing. It's right in the middle of everything. There's no stimulation. There's no vibration. There's nothing. There's just complete God, and that is what God is afraid of. God is not even afraid of that point. God is a narcissist. It's bored. It wants to do something. It wants to experience something, and it has to move. That void is what we're avoiding as God, right? We don't want to be in this space of nothingness, no movement. It's the scariest thing ever for us. Ever. No sound, no vibration, no movement, nothing. This is the reason of life. This is the cause of life, because we don't want to exist in the void. So enjoy and embrace your journey, negative or positive, good or bad. You're a part of the game, and that's awesome for you to be aware and conscious that we're in this game. And that's the broad picture, right? And now that we know that it's all meaningless, what's the meaning of life? Right? The true meaning of life is meaning. It's while we know it's meaningless, the true meaning would be to find out that it's meaningless. And in that meaning, enjoy your own mind and its creation. To enjoy it. To truly enjoy your creation. You are God vibrating at a certain frequency. Now, a lot of us think of God as the higher self and the devil as the lower self. And that's a cool ass way to look at it. Because it's true. Your higher self, it's good to look at it like that. It gives us a format and it gives us a way of looking at it. The truth is, God is both the devil and God. And you are an astrological energy traveling, playing a character in the God game. And God is everything, every particle, every atom, everything. There's nothing outside of God. There's no you, then God. There's no me and then someone else. No. The fact that I can observe someone else lets me know that that person is me on some kind of level. We can play the game with ourselves, the separation game, which is an illusion. You can play that game with yourself. You can say, oh, this is me and this is God and this is this person and I'm you. And that's the game we're playing, right? That's the game of life. That's the game of God. And how to master that game, to get to the point where understanding it all and to become the master of that, you have to travel consciously through your astrological programming to become self-aware to the point that you're allotted or allowed this understanding. I could tell you this. I'm telling you this right now. It means nothing if you don't realize it with your nervous system, with your astrological energy. I feel it. I know it. And it's where I'm at. Yet all of us are God and we're all conscious, but we're not allowed to embrace it because of our astrological programming. So many of us may know information and occult information. How many people you know the truth, but don't live it? Because they're not allowed to embrace it because of their astrological programming. Their Mercury's in a certain position. Saturn was in a certain position. And now they're not allowed in this lifetime to embrace that because they're here to learn something else. They're here to learn something about family. And whatever they did in their past lifetime might have made them, okay, here we are in the information age, right? Got a caterpillar here. passing through. I don't want to squish him. Okay, so here we are, and or should I say, I don't want to squish myself, because I honor my creation, right? I don't want to. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not, do anything. These are all rules to ensure that you have this better life in your next life. These are what these rules are set for. And so, back to what I was saying, a lot of people you might have did something in your past life that in this life you was born into a big loving family. But this big loving family was not what you needed in the age of information, because in the age of information, it caused many attachments. So it's sad when you look at it. When you really look at it, it's like I see people in the age of information where you're allotted this information to allow your mind to actually be free, but they're stuck in these attachments with these loving people that are not going to change. And now that's their facement. So that's what they have to face. So what seems so loving becomes something cynical that they had to experience. And now this becomes a major obstacle for them, because now they have to let that go. You got to let all that go to meet your true spiritual family. But you have been loved, so-called cherished or cared about so much in this family setting that in the time that you're in, as far as the information age, where you're allotted all this information, you can't let go of your attachments in this time for your salvation. And that, to me, is not loving. That's some old karma type, sweet karma type shit. And it's fucked up, man. I see people all the time. Whereas for me, I came into this realm, mom and dad died, no attachments. What seemed to be horrible in the beginning of my life turned out to be the most blissful thing in the end, because I didn't have to worry about those things, right? I didn't have to worry about those attachments. And I see people with these loving families where they got mom and dad and cousins and aunts that love and embrace them, and they're like, they're all living ignorant as hell. They're all eating meat, they're all eating cheese, they got family reunions, they got big parties, they all they're like, they know the truth. They're the only one in their family that know the truth. And they're trying to tell their family like, baby, pass the pork. You know what I'm saying? And so they're like, oh, how am I supposed to leave my grandma, my aunt, my uncle? And I'm like, yo, karma's a bitch. Because it programs you, and then your astrological energy would be a Cancer, which is family oriented. You think that's a sweet thing from the outside looking in, like, oh, you have an adorable family. But in the age of information, where this is a cosmic time where you're allotted all this information to free your mind and know yourself and actually separate yourself from all of this, that shit is cynical. And it's fucked up. It's messed up in a way, because it's like, yo, what seems to be so sweet is actually some fucked up karma type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I have mercy and compassion for these people, because although my life was hard in the beginning, when I look at everything and how it all turned out, it was like, wow. It was for the best from the very beginning. When it all played out, I didn't have these attachments, so I could just walk away real easy to become the master teacher I was supposed to be, as other people have this challenge of letting all this stuff go. And it's hard, man. It's hard to let that illusion go that something exists outside of you when you got this loving family, man. When you got these beings that you really care about. It's funny, even my biological children weren't never attached to me. As soon as they were born, their mothers took them from me. And I never understand. Every time I got something in life, every time I had some kind of family, it got taken from me. And for the longest time growing up, for me, it was like, fuck, why can't I get a family? Why can't I have this loving thing? And later on, I realized my purpose didn't require me to have that. I was actually supposed to teach against that it was all an illusion. And I'm so happy now, because I'm like, yo, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed from birth, and I must have did really good things in my last life. But the thing is, coming into my life, although I had good karma, wouldn't come into the second half of my life. And so you look at it and you say, damn, look at all of this that happened to me, as far as my mom and dad dying as a baby, me being a crack baby, me coming in the life that I had, you know, my path. As I look into my past life, it tells me exactly I'm a guru. It's like, yo, you're here to give information that people never heard of. And as I look, I'm like, wow, this astrology is really, you know, cool. Like, everybody should get it, and everybody should, you know, study and know thyself. And the power and wisdom that I was given is not for me to boast about. It's not. That's how you use power. That's how the so-called elite use their power. They use their power against people. You're supposed to use your power to empower other people. If you have wisdom and knowledge, you're supposed to give that knowledge away to those that actually can utilize it. Not everybody, because most people take the knowledge and stomp all over it, and I call those swine. You don't give your pearls to swine. And that's why I just put my stuff on my social media, and those that grasp and are actually good soil, it'll hit them. And that's the beautiful thing about social media, is like, it makes it easy for it. It's like, before you had to pick your students. Now your students pick you. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing that social media allows us to do this. And so you just put the information, and the students that are actually ready and willing, they come, you know, and you get to judge from there. Also, I want to say about karma, it was, you know, me coming into this realm, or logging into this reality that I created. You see the life that I live now, it's like so beautiful. It's beyond beautiful. Like, I can't even explain to you the experiences that I've had in nature, and thoughts coming to me in my dreams, and, you know, my higher self just talking to me and teaching me all this information, just mind-blowing moments, every moment just being mind-blowing. And all I've ever wanted to do is share that with everyone else. The money I've been given and allotted, and, you know, I don't take it for granted. I know that I did things in my past lifetime to earn this life that I live today, and without selling my soul. See, it's a difference. When people have money and success, they sell their soul. You know, that's a whole nother thing. You could say, oh, hey, you know, there's people out there with money, but they sold their soul for it. I've done and been blessed without selling my soul, and this is the difference. And so my blessings, I choose to give away. I choose to take my power every single day, every other day, or whenever I get a chance. Most likely I'm giving information out. I'm sharing information to get other people, or my other selves, to love myself, to love other selves, to make them more aware of what's going on, to have them more aware of how to create their next reality in the most beautiful way, you know. So with that being said, I'm grateful for my position. As I become self-aware, more self-aware, I'm grateful for my astrological programming. It's just giving me the opportunity not only to be self-aware, but to help many others. And I'm grateful for this, because in my past life, it was written that I was in a position, I was a very noble person, but I was in a position where I couldn't help people. That's what it says in my past life. My past life report, it basically said that I was in a position where I couldn't help people. That's why in this life, I was granted this opportunity to help other people, which basically is myself, right? And it just takes me outside the game of life, because one minute I'm saying I'm helping other people, and then the next minute I'm very well aware that I am those people and I am God, and it takes me out of the game, and that makes it not fun. You can know too much, and it's just not fun at all. Like, and I want to enjoy life. In order to enjoy life, you can't be too conscious. You can't. If you're too conscious, then you truly can't enjoy it. A lot of people like, yo, ignorance is bliss. To a certain degree, yes, you need balance to enjoy it, or it could be depressing. It could be depressing. So it gives me honor to come and play the game, and I'm a character within my own game. but the character. I'm the director, the actor, the executive producer, all at the same time. I'm you, I'm me. I'm well aware when I'm having sex with someone else, I'm having sex with myself. And that's the most beautiful experience ever. If people understood sex spiritually, and then they did the astrological reports, then we would realize that we're pretty much eating. We're eating the other person's energy, like we're just eating, you know. And with that being said, I wanted to get into the shortest route, the shortest, best, painless route to truth is nature. And why? Why did the ancients say that? Why did Thoth teach that? The Thoth, Sesat, Mayat, Anubis, all of them teach that nature is the best and shortest route towards truth. Now, what that means is this being of yours, it's so amazing. It's an organic computer. Yes, this being of yours. This being is an organic computer. This is a book. You will read, you could see a whole library. You could put 30,000 libraries together, and in one drop of your DNA, it wouldn't be equivalent to one drop of your DNA. Your DNA holds all truth, all wisdom, all knowledge. You're all knowing. Your being is all knowing already. You don't need to read 1,000 books. You don't really need the internet, because your being, your very being, is all knowing. It's an intelligent, you are all knowing, you are all intelligent. It's better that you connect your body back to the earth. Eat from the earth. Get closer to the sun. Get to pure water and be around lots of trees and green and oxygen. And breathe deep, because when we do this, we are connecting ourselves from where information comes from. Okay, you see the internet? Internet is where we enter information onto. We collectively share information and put it on the internet. But where does the information come from? It came through someone's being. And the very place that it came out of that being, you have the same information within you. Inside your DNA holds all information of everything that ever's been known. So this is why they say the shortest and best route to truth is nature. Because when we connect this organic computer, get rid of all the gunk, all the mucus that's inside that insulates each cell from communicating to each other electrically, what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves to be all-knowing. We must learn how to allow ourselves to be what we are, right? Everything in life has taught you how not to be what you are. And this is just your karma. This is just everything that are obstacles for you to reach your true purpose. So if you want to know, if you want to be all-knowing, you already are all-knowing. What nature is neutral. It is the nothing point. It is the mirror that shows you everything inside of you that's blocking you from being everything. To know everything is to know nothing. If you want to know everything, all you have to do is become neutral. When you become neutral, you become connected to nature and one with nature. You become everything. And in the process of becoming everything, you are now the Google. You are now the YouTube. You are now everything that you're supposed to be. If you have melanin, melanin, what makes you dark, like everything else throughout nature, is brown and green, right? What melanin does is plays as an antenna that boosts this ability. So your black power lies in your ability to connect to nature, to connect to source, what you truly are, to understand what you truly are, to become nothing, to know everything. You are all-knowing beings. All you have to do is be one with nature. Let your hair grow. Let your hair be. Let your being be. Get out of the way of yourself. Your physical self is your spiritual self. This is your mind. Your body is your mind. You see, your mind makes your fingers move. Your mind makes you talk and say what you talk. It's an instrument. Your body is an instrument for the mind. The mind actually creates the body. The body is what the mind uses within this nanometer of electrical magnetic spectrum to express itself instrumentally. Your body is actually what it uses. Your mind uses it to travel through this space that we're in. It's a visual light space. Your mind is using the body. Your mind is the body. Your body is the mind. There's no disconnect. It is the body. So the way someone treats their body lets you know their consciousness. When people are like, oh, you can't judge a book by the cover, that's bullshit. You can judge a book by the cover. I mean, in some aspects, I can see where they can say that. Because somebody might look weak and be strong, and somebody might look strong and be weak. Yet, if we're truly conscious, then we know the person that looks strong is weak with just by looking at certain things that they say and do. Or the person that looks weak is strong by looking at things that they say and do. So you can't judge a book by the cover if we are conscious. So you see, just as colors and shapes matter, color matters, the color brown matters, it's so imperative that you understand what brown means. It's so imperative that you understand your melanin. Because your melanin can actually enhance ignorance. It can enhance ignorance. If you see someone that dyes their hair, this person, obviously their mind is not conscious of what their hair is, or they would take better care of their hair. If you see people putting Twinkies in their organic soul, in their soul, putting Twinkies in your soul, that's what it is, right? If you see people putting Twinkies and Debbie's cakes in their soul, this lets you know that this person is unconscious at a certain level. Their mind has not reached because the way light bends in their mind. So from our actions, we can understand these things. But the mechanics of consciousness is astrology. If you want to understand why we do things, what is happening, and why it's happening, so that you may allow things to happen, I'm all about allowing. That's why I use my page to put out information. I don't really go on other people's pages. I have a law. I don't go on other people's pages talking trash. If I have an issue with something, I put it on my page where I have every right to speak on the issue. I don't go on other people's pages commenting like that because unless it's a friend, and if it's a friend and I feel like I could do it, and then it's still I'm violating the law of the lane law. I call it the lane law. You out of your lane, you on somebody else's page, put in a comment on there, you're violating the lane law. The lane law is when we stay in your lane. Mind your business. No matter what, don't go on nobody else's shit talking shit. That is lane law. That's the lane law. You got your own social media. You have your own avenue to address issues and problems that you feel that you should address. You should never go on someone else's page putting your opinion, especially if it's negative, on someone else's page. Now, if you're encouraging them, if you are ingredients, and if you're with what they're talking about, then you go on their public page and you are with them and you encourage, and then y'all could be together in oneness. But to get on someone's page and insult them, you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you, so you don't do that to them, and that's lane law. You're out of your lane. Get back into your lane. No matter if you're right, you could be right. You still no. You're you're violating the lane law. Lane law. That is a principle we should keep. It will help us stay out of trouble. So what I do is I allow people to be them. Do you? If I have an issue with what you're doing, I will come to my page and I will address it and I will wipe my hands with it. But I will never go on your page and argue with you and do all of that. Because that is your lane. I stay in my lane and address my issues. And if everybody held those morals and principles, we'd have a better life. Everybody would have more respect and more morals and principles we would live by. You understand? And then perhaps we could live better. But that's a law that I live by. Okay? I like to allow people to be who they are. If I have an issue, I put it on my social media, on my avenue. I talk to my friends about it. I say, hey, this is how I feel about this, and this is how I feel about this. I would never go on their page and violate that law, because I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me. Period. Now, if I have a problem with you and you're a friend of mine, I'm going to take it to your inbox. I'm going to say, I'm going to pull you to the side. Let me talk to you real quick. You said this, this, and that. What did you mean when you said this? This made no sense. And if we was to conduct ourselves like that, man, there would be so much peace online. Because I feel like online is the same as real life. If you're a coward in real life, the internet provides you safety to be a coward online. And it's too much of that going on. You know, anybody could just say anything, you know, without any kind of principle or moral today, because nobody has that masculine energy in their life to tell them, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. In this generation, we lack the masculine energy that sets laws and principles. We don't have that masculine energy. We just have mama. We have mama, and mama's unbalanced because mama's lacking the male in the life. And so there's no law, no justice, no discipline there. And so we have this rambunctious actions of everything going on, but not on my page. So I live by those laws. And so that's why it is imperative for us to understand that our organic computer plugs into the earth and then plugs into the solar system that plugs into everything. Now, if you eat from the tree, you're now swallowing microRNAs that are coming from cosmic places. Because everything and every star outside of our solar system comes through the sun to get information to us. So if Mars was trying to send a message to people from Mars or souls from Mars, they would send it through the sun. And so you would have to eat from the sun. Now, when you eat a cow, the cow is steady eating from the earth as well. It's getting all its protein and information from the earth through photosynthesis. And what you're doing is you're actually insulating that message from getting to you. You're actually insulating the iOS, the OS system, the operating system. There's updates. There's things. See, I always say this. Information is food. Okay? If you go into the supermarket of today, you walk in the supermarket, most of the supermarket is not organic. It means nothing. It's not real food. Most of it's not real food. The same way for the internet. You get on the internet, most of it's not good food. It's junk information. The stuff that really matters is in this little section called the organic section. And everything else is garbage. But because most of the population are going for it, they let it go. They let it fly. The organic section got a little section with a little bit of people that come and eat it. Same thing with information. You have a lot of people that are eating and consuming information that is meaningless. It's junk information. It doesn't have anything to do with the time and place that we're in right now. And so we are consumed by this distractions. When the fastest way from point A to point B is a straight line. There's a lot of detours happening. There's a lot of distractions. Get straight to the point. The straight to the point is nature, and that's what this is all about. The fastest and shortest route to truth is nature. Now, there's cosmic updates. This is how everything in nature is intelligent. This is how the birds can fly in all of these big groups and nobody crashes into each other. They can fly right here And you never see one bird crash into another, and they're all flying in this circle motion. Circle of motion. How do they do that without crashing? There's an intelligence about nature. How does one bee know how to go to one flower and pollinate it? How does everything know what to do that does what it does? There's an intelligence that's moving, and you can be in harmony with that intelligence, or you can be in disharmony with that intelligence. There's messages that's telling you and allowing you to know what to do innately that you are not getting because you're filling yourself with mucus, artificial ingredients, things that are supposed to be in your body that creates insulation. Now, mucus is not bad. Let me make that clear. We need mucus to move things throughout the body. Excess mucus is the problem in one place. Whether you got excess mucus in your throat, your nasal, your stomach, wherever there's excess mucus, you're going to have health problems because that area is insulated. Like the bottom of your shoes have rubber on them. When we know that there's a telluric energy that the earth holds that sends messages to every cell in your body. So what are the two insulators? The two main insulators we know that stops electricity from flowing is wood and rubber, plastic. So why on the bottom of your shoes are there wood and plastic? That's the only thing that's on the bottom of your shoes. It's funny that the bottom of your feet belongs on the bottom of the ground because the earth holds this telluric electrical negative ion energy, right? That communicates with every cell in your body. Actually, your whole body, it becomes connected by just touching the earth. When you become connected, this organic computer starts working. When it's working, all of the information is being sent via each cell in the body starts to communicate and tell itself what to do. And you as a consciousness starts to become aware of everything that it's supposed to do. It gets the information that it needs. Not all information you need. You do not need all information. It just is what it is. So you get the proper information, okay, without insulation. Information without insulation. Let's call this information without insulation, okay? Because too much mucus in a certain part of the body creates insulation, which creates blockage of electrical signals being sent from one cell to the next. And anytime you have a miscommunication between two or more cells, what you have is dis-ease, dysfunction, discomfort, all of the disses. Disable, disability, all of that, okay, happens when communication, even in relationships, us as cells, right? We're all cells. The only problems is where there's miscommunication. You can have a problem as long as you can communicate, then you can get the problem fixed. Between you and your lover, between you and anyone else, your cell, it's a cell. As long as the electrical signals can be sent, or something could be playing as an insulation, like a third party could be talking crap or whatever, playing as some insulation between you and the other person, having proper communication to get over the issue or conflict that you're having. Same thing with the cells in your body. They're trying to communicate to resolve the issues and conflicts in your body so that your being can be all-knowing. And you have been trained to be in your own way. From the food you eat, coming and logging on to this dimension from your own karma, you have been trained how to get in your own way. And nature is the fastest way to real truth. If you want to know the truth that you're supposed to have, if you want to know the truth that you're supposed to know, then you will tap your body closer to the sun, having pure water in the tropics. I tell people Costa Rica is the best place on the planet. It's a sacred ground. Move to Costa Rica. This is the place to be, right here. Costa Rica is 100% renewable energy. All of the energy as far as electricity here comes from the volcanoes or the windmills. I have a video on that actually. I went to the power plants to confirm that. Also, I wanted to say that if you are going to live in a tropical environment like Ecuador or Jamaica, bring solar panels. because these places are powered by fossil fuels. And we just don't want to be harming the planet, which is yourself, and you want to live in harmony with the laws so that you can create a better world for you. Whether you are conscious or unconscious of your actions, you will experience karma regardless. So it's the best, because you're given the opportunity to become conscious. So there won't be no excuse of I don't know or I didn't know. In between lives that you have, you come to a judgment point. This is, the Egyptians would call it the walk of judgment, where they weigh your heart to a feather, you know. And Osiris would judge you and tell you about your afterlife, or where you would go into another reality too. And the Christians would say it's Judgment Day, where you stand in front of God and your life flashes before you. This is very true. What you do in this life, you get to a point in between lives, in the transition of lives, where you judge yourself upon what you did in life. But in the state that you're in, when you judge it, it's like you come back to being all-knowing and you realize where you fucked up. And in the process of you fucking up, you're like, damn, I did do that. Now you have to experience all the karma that everybody else, that you put upon other people, all the laws you disobeyed. You created another world for you. This is the part that don't tell you, is you already created, you already predestined your path. What you know and what you truly know is that you're going to make it to where you're supposed to be, is the all-knowing self that you are, which is God. But some people are not traveling from the best short route from point A to point B. It's like putting in a navigation system, right? You're in a car. You're like, okay, I want to get from here to there. You turn a navigation system. They give you 2-3 routes that you can take. You're always going to choose the shortest route because you want to get from point A to point B at the shortest amount of time. And so just like life, it's the same thing. It's just different routes to where we're going. And so you could take the hard route. It has a lot of pain, suffering, you know, all that. You can take that route if you want, but you're going to experience it. You got a nervous system and you're going to experience it. Or you could listen to the wisdom and knowledge that was given to you, which many won't. Only a few will listen actually to what they're supposed to be, to knowledge and wisdom, and apply it to their lives. And that's due to the astrological energy. Like I said, your astrological program sets you in your way to, if you even acknowledge wisdom, to actually embrace it and live it is a whole nother thing. That has to be aligned with your cosmic energy. So with that being said, my information is for the chosen, you know, the people that are actually able to astrologically embrace the information and wisdom and apply it to their lives. Everybody else is just swine and just here to be an insulation for the ones that actually are listening. They're just here to be an obstacle for you. There's very few that actually going to listen and take the wisdom and apply it to their lives. So I'm talking to you. I do these videos every day for you because I love myself. And this is the job that I signed up for. And it gives me nothing but pleasure to do what I'm doing. That's why I do it for free. So with that being said, if you're going to live by the tropics, you're going to connect to nature, and you are going to apply this to your life, this is what I advise you to do. I advise you to move to Costa Rica. If you're not going to move to Costa Rica, you're going to go to Jamaica, you're going to go to Aruba, or you're going to get anywhere within the tropic lines. If you're going to do that, get some solar panels, live off grid. Make sure that you're not, when you plug your phone up or you plug your laptop up, that you're not a problem, you're not a part of the problem on the planet. Fossil fuels are very dangerous. It's a problem on the planet, and we need to address this. Okay, so try to become more conscious of what you're doing. This, like I always tell people, and I will repeat it over and over, this being that you're living on, this living organism that we call Earth, it's not just a living organism. It is literally the nucleus of a neuron cell within your own body. That's what the Earth is. No one's going to tell you that because this information is coming through me. This is my piece of information I have to share with the all. You are inside of your own nervous system. The sun is an electrical impulse that's coming through the axon of the nerve. Okay, if you want to look into that, you can look into the nervous system and look into the neuron, the breakdown of a neuron, and then you will see that it's very true. That makes perfect sense, and that you don't have to really research that for that to make sense to you. Like, whoa, that makes sense. You know, the sun appears to be sitting still, but really it's an impulse, it's an electrical impulse coming through. It appears to be that the sky is blue because of the way light is refracting off the ground, up, so we look and we see that this is a blue sky. It's not blue. It's not. It's an illusion. Actually, you are inside of a neuron, okay, within your own electrical nervous system. Okay, and once you realize that, you realize this is your own body that you're inside of. You live in harmony with it. You want to harm it. You don't want to do anything. And that's the cause of everything. That's the reason why you really want to be living by these laws. These laws are set up. These Mayat laws, 7 principles, are set up for you to excel, for you to get to where you're supposed to be. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. All roads lead to the source. Okay? So with that being said, if you're going to live in one of these places where they're not powered by 100% renewable energy, please get some solar panels, live off grid. Live in harmony with nature. Respect yourself. Love yourself. Live in harmony. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. You know all the rules. You know all the rules. If you don't, go research them. Now, to close this video out and this video series out, what I want to do is I want to say that each and every one of you study your natal chart. Go to tarot.com, study your natal chart. I'm going to be doing videos asking you quizzes like, what is your sun sign? What is your moon sign? What is your Mercury? What is your Mars in? You know, where is your Saturn and what house is in? Do you know your houses? I want to give quizzes about that. There's plenty of experts or people that actually start to teach you about astrology. Now, what I want to say is that astrology was taken from Egypt. It was taken from Thoth. Thoth gave us, he was Father Time. He gave us astrology. Now, is the astrology today the right, correct astrology? Hell no, it's not. But what you must understand is that when you are connected to nature, you're eating the right food, and your DNA has access to this ancient information. When you read this information, you are able to put the pieces back together that are missing from this information. It's just like reading the Bible. When you are in tune with what you are, because you read the Bible, we read the Bible. So no one can lie to us. We're just getting pieces of it back. All we need is the piece of the truth, and our DNA will do the rest. It will give us the rest of the answers that we need. Information comes from within. It will be able to connect the information, like, oh, well, that's a lie. That's not real. This is real. This is who it is, you know. And then we can all put it all together to understand it. So at the end of the day, don't be afraid of the Bible. Don't be afraid of the Quran. Don't be afraid of any of these religions, because they're just a piece of the information. That is, they're pieces of the truth. They're not the full truth. They're pieces of the truth. And basically, all religions are nothing more than the sciences of our day. That's all. All religions are interpretations of the sciences of our day. Okay? And the science of any day is the studying of nature. Okay? And so when we study nature, that's what religion comes from. That is our religion, nature. Astrology is the mechanics of consciousness. So it's imperative that we understand, and how can we be in tune with nature and be in tune with righteousness, and we're not in tune with the cosmos. So what I'm going to tell you is, take the information that is given to you, take it into yourselves. If you are pure and true, then you will be able, your cells will be able to dissect a lie from the truth, and they will put it all together for you, and you will get the wisdom that you need. Someone can tell you something, and you'll be able to put the truth together because you read it. You're just being reminded of what you are. So the half-truth is actually helping you. It's enough to feed your DNA to tell you what you need to know about the rest. So those of you that were forced, the Bible was forced upon you. Those of you that the Quran was forced upon you. It is a very good thing, because these informations were half-truths. The thing is, the other halves are in your DNA. They're in your genes. So when you connect to nature, that Bible verse is going to start to make sense now. It's going to be like, oh, that's what Jesus was saying at this time in this Bible. So there you see that all information is useful. Okay? All of this information, as far as some of the biblical information or the sciences of our day, back in the Egyptian days and African days, that they were interpreted by these Greek men or these Caucasian men, and given to us and regurgitated and revised. We read it, so it doesn't matter. Once you give it to us, we could take your lies out of it. We could take the truth in it, which is only a piece of the truth, connect it to our DNA, connect it to our wisdom and our knowledge, where all knowledge come from. Once we are organically connected to nature, we could take that information and take it like astrology. We could take astrology and be like, okay, this is Mercury, this is Mars, but they forgot about this planet that they couldn't even see. They couldn't even see this planet because they don't have the melanin in their eyes to even pick up this planet right here. Just like the what do they call the dog? it's a tribe in Africa. The Dogland, something like this. It's a special tribe, and I apologize about messing their name up. But I vaguely read about them. They could see stars like the Sirius star. They could see the Sirius star, and the Caucasian couldn't see it until they got this high tech, telescope to see it. And it's like we were able to see things that they couldn't see, okay, because we have more melanin. But that's okay. That's because we was always the true teachers. We have just been, our memory has been wiped during slavery, and now is the time that we are able to get our memory back. Our memory is sitting in our DNA. We have to connect our bodies to nature, eat from the earth only, and so that this way we can regain our memory, so that we can rule again. We could rule in nature and apply these rules and rule again as we were supposed to. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So it's very imperative that you study astrology. Again, like I said, all information is not good information. Most information of today is junk information. But if you get into the occult information, this is where you want to be. You want to be in occult information, and actually, it is imperative that we understand one thing. Study astrology. Astrology, all religions were based in astrology. All religions are interpretations of nature. All of them. It's just science. It's all science. The Bible is nothing but a science that was interpreted by King James. King James, he took it and interpreted and took it and politically revised it in ways that was good for him to rule in his time. So we can't take this as our full truth. It's not our full truth. Our full truth is embedded in our DNA, and at this time and place cosmically, we're in an alignment that is allowing our DNA activation for us to gain our memory back again, to gain what we were and understand who we were again. But we have to become more holistic and get closer to the sun, get closer to pure water, get closer to all four elements. The food that you put in your body, the people that you're around, isolate yourself from them. Remember, information without insulation. That is the time that we're in, and that is what we're supposed to be doing. And like I said, the fastest, and like the ancients said, which is us, right? The fastest and the shortest and best route to truth, to knowledge of truth, is what? Nature. All your information is right here in your being, connected to nature, and you will see what I'm saying. I love my self-reflection. Peace.